Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, typically I'll be doing a cup reaction. But for this race only, hopefully this race only, hopefully not for at least the next 4 weeks. Um, I will just be giving my thoughts of what happened on the final 3 laps of the race because I guess I had some technical difficulties trying to record the race and watch it, and then try to give my instant live reaction to it. But unfortunately, I couldn't get the recording to what's the word? I couldn't get the recording to work essentially. So I guess because of connectivity issues from their end, and they blocked it on their end, unfortunately. So they being my TV provider that I usually watch the races on. So that's a little unfortunate, but I'm just gonna do my analysis of what happened on the last 3 laps of the race. So Shane Van Gisbergen is leading, with Chase Briscoe right behind him in second. Ty Gibbs is a little bit of a distance back in third, about 5 seconds back at this point. But he seemed like he was going to be out of the equation for the win, I think. But Chase Briscoe and Shane Van Gisbergen are having a duel. Someone's actually taking the fight to SVG for once on a workhorse, and that's being Chase Briscoe. Kind of a rematch from last year because it was those two duking it out for the win, but it came down to like multiple race restarts. And then the race came down to basically a long green flag went to the end, longest run of the day. Only one caution for incident the whole day, but it wasn't for incident, it was for debris. But essentially, they were catching lap traffic. They were catching Cody Ware, Ty Dillon, I think Daniel Suarez as well. SVG could not get him on Suarez. He kind of got stuck behind him. SVG's car was falling off while Briscoe just seemed, even though he had one lap, although SVG had one lap fresher tires than Chase Briscoe. Briscoe just had the better car at the end. But they take 3 laps to go, going up in turn 1. Chase Briscoe misses the corner. Like, he just completely missed it. He lost like maybe a second at least to SVG. And then he spent a whole lap basically getting back to him, and he was so much better than SVG on the braking. Typically, SVG is the one who's really good on the braking, but Chase Briscoe was gaining like a couple car lengths on SVG in the braking zone, especially turn 11, where we get to eventually. That almost determined the race for the win. 2 laps to go. They get by Cody Ware and Ty Dillon, they being Chase Briscoe and SVG. SVG still got Briscoe right up in his mirror, trying to hold him off. And essentially, SVG's on defense for the first time, I think, in a short cup career on the road course. SVG's on defense, trying to hold off for the win here. And then Briscoe again into turn 11, just gains so much time on SVG, but SVG actually gets the one out of the corner because Briscoe is gaining so much on entry. Typically, if you gain on entry, you'll lose on exit. It's very rare that you gain on entry and then you gain on exit because you just have so much momentum. But in this case, SVG gains on entry and gains on exit while Briscoe gains on entry. So we come to the white flag. 2 more miles for Shane Van Gisbergen to hold off Chase Briscoe. Briscoe gets, I think, the best run through turns 1 and 2 that he's had all day. Gains about a car length, maybe a car length I have SVG. He's literally like about 2 car lengths behind his bumper. Maybe, yeah, about a car length and a half. He was within striking distance. If SVG made a mistake, which he has done in the past, Briscoe was able to pounce on him. So they go through turns 1 and 2. Briscoe's right there. Then you go through 3, then 3A up over the hill, down the hill into turn 4. SVG gains a little bit, but he still got Briscoe right up his hip pocket. And then you go to the short chute into turn 7. Briscoe gains so much on entry. He gained so much on entry, but he actually kept the gap. So like the gap was literally right there. So if SVG, like I said, SVG makes a mistake, Briscoe's right there to pounce. But they go through the S's for the final time, which that's SVG's best part of the track. Whole weekend practice and qualifying, nobody could touch SVG in the S's. Briscoe could hang with him, but it just seemed like SVG was just a little bit better through the S's, even though SVG's car was falling off. And then they go through turn 9 for the final time, that sleeping left-hander, then a quick right-hander turn 10. Briscoe gets a little too much of the curb on the right-hand side of turn 10. He slipped a little. That cost him like a hundredth, or maybe a tenth of a second. It cost him just a little bit of time. And then we get into turn 11 for the final time. Briscoe sends it into turn 11. He basically almost touched his back bumper, but he drove it in so deep into turn 11, he kind of missed the corner at the same time. So while SVG's white side tires are on the curb, Briscoe's about like maybe half a car half a car lane higher than SVG. But just enough for SVG to hold off Chase Briscoe and pick up his second win of the season, which is his 8th win of his career, and back-to-back at Sonoma. And Briscoe, for the second year in a row, will finish one up to SVG. It was a race that somebody finally took the fight to SVG for once. Someone finally got up to SVG and duked it out for the win. Briscoe had a way better car than SVG. However, in those last 3 laps, Briscoe made like 3, 4, maybe 5 mistakes. And those 3 to 5 mistakes were enough to allow Shane Van Gisbergen to hold him off for the win. Ty Gibbs comes home 3rd. He swept the stages. He basically went for points today. He got almost max points. Swept the stages, finished 3rd. Great points day for the 54 team, Ty Gibbs. They needed that. He also started on the pole today. A pole for the race. 54 points for car number 54. That's kind of funny. Kyle Larson, I believe, ended up 4th, which, again, Larson's getting them top 5s. He's just consistently getting top 5s, but he just doesn't have the race winning speed yet. I think he'll get there eventually. I believe A.J. Allmendinger finished 5th, which back-to-back top 5s for A.J. Allmendinger on a road course is something that he hasn't done in a long time. It's been a long time, I think, since AJ's got back-to-back top 5s on a road course. So, happy for AJ. He was right there on the cutoff line, about 21 points below. I think he finished top 5. I have to go back and check. But, great one for AJ, if he did finish 5th. I have to go back and check. I don't remember who finished 6th or 7th. Oh, I know. Christopher Bell. I think he finished 6th. I think he needed that. He needed that one. San Diego did not go his way. He had to get out of the car early, and then Brent Cruz blew the car up. So blew the transaxle out when he downshifted instead of upshifted. So he unfortunately cost Bell a lot of points there. And then running out of gas, coming to the right flag of Pocono, that cost him some points there too. So Bell getting this top 10 one with a broken wrist was fantastic for him. He definitely needed that. Michael McDowell finished top 10. Came home 9th, I believe. Or 8th or 9th, somewhere around there. Another top 10 on the road course, but I feel like for McDowell, these are races that he needed to win or get max points in. Which I think he flipped the stage as well. Along Christopher Bell, he finished 2nd in both stages. I think McDowell also flipped the stages to go over points. So him getting a top 10 is maybe not what he wanted at the end of the day, but when he's basically right around the bubble with like Joel Logano, Austin Cindric, Eric Jones, all those guys who didn't have decent ones today, it goes a long way to get those max points. And Alex Bowman finished 10th. I don't remember what his best finish ever was at Sonoma, but this was his first top 10 in a while. Like it's been a while since Alex Bowman got a top 10. Probably since he got those 3rd place finishes earlier in the year in Texas and Talladega. So for Alex Bowman to come home 10th, that's a huge shot in the arm for him, especially him not knowing what his future is. Whether he's back in the 48 car next year for a 1-year deal or Corey Day replaces him in the 48 next year. With a lot of uncertainty around that 48 team as a whole, getting a top 10 for him is a huge shot in the arm, especially with the season he's had for 2026. But that's basically my little rundown of Sonoma. I'm sorry didn't get to see the final 3 laps of the race, so have me talk through the final 3 laps of the race. The O'Reilly reaction will still be scheduled as planned. That'll be up probably today is Monday as I'm recording this. So this will be going up tomorrow, and then the O'Reilly reaction will be going up on Wednesday. So that'll be scheduled as planned. Sorry that I couldn't get the Cup reaction up. I figured since I had to talk about the Cup race, I figured I'd get in my 2 cents here on how the race went, even though with no race reaction to judge off of. Again, apologies. Hopefully next week for Chicagoland, hopefully that'll be back to regular scheduled programming. But yeah, SVG once again. He actually looked human at Sonoma this weekend. Won't be seeing him in Victory Lane probably anymore with West Sea since there are no more road courses. But next week is Chicagoland. Most anticipated race since probably San Diego, I would say. Behind San Diego, Chicagoland was like the next track that everybody was looking forward to. Old worn-out surface is basically what Atlanta was before they repaved it. Worn-out surface never has been repaved in the history of Chicagoland Speedway since its debut race in 2001. So it's gonna be old. It's gonna be slick, worn out. The oldest surface on the schedule. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really disappointed they could not get the Truck Series there, but they got Cup and O'Reilly there. So wonderful, perfect. I guess it's a perfect compromise, but still really wanted the Truck Series to go there this year. And it's gonna be on 4th of July weekend, so fireworks will be going off throughout the weekend, probably, especially at the end of the Cup race. Whoever wins that race, and whoever wins the O'Reilly race on Saturday. Looking forward to heading back to Chicagoland Speedway for the first time since 2019 for Cup and O'Reilly. I'm looking forward to it. And that's to do for me, y'all. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell so you can know when I upload. Congratulations to Shane Van Gisbergen once again, pick up the victory. With this win, he goes to 14th in the standings. I believe, think Eric Jones and Austin Cindric are like the last two fighting for that bubble, that last spot. I think Cindric is in, Jones is out. So after at least the top 20 at San Diego for Eric Jones and a disappointing, very bad one here at Sonoma, I think he'd be really looking forward to getting to Chicagoland next week and get some of those points back that he lost today. At Sonoma, I should say. First, it was also the first race for TNT. Me personally, I counted more mistakes than the 5 races that Prime had as a whole. So TNT not starting off great, but kind of like last year. But hopefully they got 4 weeks to turn it around for Chicagoland, Atlanta, North Wilkesboro, and Indy. So they got 4 weeks to turn it around. I know it's just the start, but if it's going to be like this for the next 4 weeks, it's going to be downhill from here. But I got faith in TNT, more faith in Fox. Alrighty, guys, catch you on the next one. See ya.